I would like to welcome some of tonight's special guests. When your group is called, please stand and remain standing. And please hold your applause till all are recognized. The past and present members of the Liberal Arts Alumni Board. The Liberal Arts Associate Deans. And the Liberal Arts School and Department Heads. Thank you for your dedication to the College of Liberal Arts and Purdue University.
It is also our pleasure to thank the award selection committee members who reviewed nominations and selected our distinguished group of alumni. We'd like to thank committee members Rhonda Jones and Missy Lewis for joining us this evening.
For 32 years, as the School of Humanities, Social Sciences, and Education, the School of Liberal Arts, and the College of Liberal Arts, we have celebrated our distinguished alumni. Tonight, we are excited to welcome guests back, one of our past distinguished alumni honorees, Carolyn Cummings Perucci. Please stand so we can thank you for joining us this evening. We are also pleased to welcome Kendra Becker-Lewis, a member of the Purdue Alumni Association's Board of Directors and newly elected PAA Board member, Missy Lewis. Now, it is my pleasure to invite David A. Reingold, the Justin S. Morrill Dean of Liberal Arts, to the podium.
Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. And it's been quite a year, if you've been sort of following us from a distance or here on campus. We've been pushing forward in a number of new directions as we try and emerge as a leader in liberal arts education and scholarship. I'm mindful the last time we gathered, we had not launched our three-year degree initiative, and now we're the proud owners of 20 three-year degree programs, three-year majors across all 10 of our schools and departments. It's an effort that has been embraced firmly by the leadership of the campus. I don't know how many folks have been able to get a glimpse of the president's radio ads or listen to them. I don't know how many people still listen to radio. We still are hoping that some people still listen to radio. But it's sort of warmed my heart to be able to hear the president of Purdue University talking about liberal arts, which I think is maybe, I don't know if it's a first, but hopefully it's not the last time. And to be encouraging students from all over the state who are go-getters and who are interested in getting saving some money and getting a quick start to their life to consider Purdue to study in history and sociology, communication, anthropology, political science, communication, and all of our fields and disciplines. So that effort, I have to say, is a central pillar for us in terms of differentiating us among lots and lots of universities and colleges around the country, thousands of them, in fact. And it's, I think, an effort that is principally designed to try and save people money. We're very concerned about the cost of higher education, and we're trying to explore ways that we can be a solution to that, along with the rest of Purdue University with our tuition freeze and the income share agreements and some of the other initiatives that are out there. So That effort is going along hopefully well. It's taken an enormous amount of work by all of the heads who are in the room, by many of our faculty members who helped put these together, our advisors. It's really, it's been a real joy to see so many people coming together collectively to put that forward. Similarly, last year at this time, we were hoping to launch this new Cornerstone program, which now is a reality, and there are, I think, about 104 students. Melinda, you'll have to correct me on this, but I think there are 104 students who took the first year sequence this past year. This is a sort of a new program designed to try and get more STEM students exposed to classes in the humanities and the social sciences and the arts. One of the challenges we have at Purdue University is that not enough students across the campus take classes in our core subject areas, in our core disciplines. And the Cornerstone Liberal Arts Integrated Program is designed to try and reverse that trend. And we're going to be, with the good work of about 40 faculty members who are engaged in this effort, are going to be rolling it out to about 850 students in terms of the first year sequence this coming year through the Transformative Text program. And we've managed to convince our colleagues in engineering, as well as the College of Science, Granite School of Management, and the Purdue Polytechnic to modify their plans of study to allow for this program, for their students to take this program, which has been, frankly, also another Herculean task. I think a lot of people at the beginning of this year didn't think that we actually could convince all of those campus partners to do this, but here we are, and we've got about 2/3, by my count, about 2/3 of the freshman class, which is probably going to be a record-breaking class, I'm told, of over 7,500 students who are going to be able to take the Cornerstone certificate. We also celebrated this year, actually last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, Professor Roxanne Gay from our English department and won a Guggenheim Fellow. For those of you who may not be familiar, the Guggenheim Fellows are one of the more prestigious awards that faculty members in the humanities, social sciences, and natural sciences can win. We have had a few in our history, but Roxanne deserves enormous credit for that award, and it's much deserved, and we're very proud of her. We're continuing our work to try and expand career opportunities for our students. It's been a priority of mine to make sure that all students who graduate from liberal arts have the kind of internship experience, kind of career preparation that will allow them to jump seamlessly into their future. And if you've been around Beering Hall, we have a career center. We have career programming. We have the Job Ready Internship Fund. We are doing sort of a all hands on deck to try and make sure that our students have the kinds of opportunities that they expect when they come. So with all of these efforts, I'm mindful that as I look at our list of distinguished alums and all the good work that the Alumni Board has done, which we're grateful for in terms of identifying them and bringing them along, that you know, the world out there is filled with graduates who have gone on to pursue and have huge impacts in a broad range of areas. We're very proud of the work that you've done, and tonight we're here to celebrate all of our outstanding seniors who I'm confident are going to go on and continue down that path and that legacy. We're here to celebrate our distinguished alumni, and in the program, if you look at some of the impact and the accomplishments that our alums have had, it brings great pride and joy to me and the faculty and colleagues in the college. So let me offer our sincere congratulations to each of you on your accomplishments this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean Reingold. Working for Purdue Athletics, I love seeing the College of Liberal Arts and Degree in 3 on the Jumbotrons all season. Tonight, we are happy to share a look at the program in the eyes of one of our students. Many of our outstanding seniors have benefited from scholarships during their time at Purdue. Tonight, we are joined by some of the alumni and friends who have endowed scholarships that honor spouses, parents, siblings, and former professors. We are so pleased to have them with us tonight and would like to recognize their generosity. Please stand as I call your name, and please hold all of your applause until all of our scholarship donors are recognized. David Bischoff, Wilma Brannon, Tom Comerford, Barbara Dixon, Ronald Hullinger, Peter and Arlene Kaminsky, Missy Lewis, Kendra Becker-Lewis, Ken Shackman, Joanne Troutner, Ralph and Ginny Webb. Your generous gifts provide us with the competitive edge we need to recruit the best and brightest young scholars, students who become change agents on campus, and alumni who are leaders in the communities. We are ever grateful. Now I would like to invite Rhonda Jones, past president of the Liberal Arts Alumni Board, to the stage for our award presentations.
The College of Liberal Arts Alumni Board is composed of 16 alumni who advocate for the college and for Purdue. Rhonda is compelling in her term, and she's completing her term on the Alumni Board this year. We would like to thank her for her service in her time as a treasurer, vice president, president, and past president.
Tonight we will recognize 11 outstanding seniors who were selected by faculty in their schools and departments. Each student has excelled academically, demonstrated a passion for their major, balanced schoolwork with extracurricular activities, and proved to be an exceptional leader. While you can read about their many accomplishments in tonight's program, we will also share comments from faculty members, academic advisors, and department heads who selected them.
We ask that family members and guests of each honoree please stand and be recognized when seniors receive their awards. We know that their success is your success as well.
Department Head Ellen Gruenbaum will present Bridget Currie from Palos Heights, Illinois, with the Outstanding Senior Award in Anthropology. In addition to a wealth of extracurricular activities like participation in Purdue's All-American Marching Band and working as a Purdue Ambassador and Honors College mentor, Bridget has already distinguished herself through research. For the last year, she has made frequent trips to Indianapolis to conduct a study on diversity and school choice at Purdue's new STEM magnet school, the Purdue Polytechnic High School. Bridget presented a poster on her project at the National Conference of the Society for Applied Anthropology, and she has been invited back to present at the organization's conference in Philadelphia once she processes the study's conclusions. Bridget has published 2 articles as well, prompting Professor Gruenbaum to remark that this level of professional accomplishment is truly exceptional for our undergraduate students. After college, she envisions a future in policy related to school choice and student agency. Bridget, please come forward to accept your award.
Assistant Professor Brian Smith will present Mackenzie Brenneman from Commerce City, Colorado, with the Outstanding Senior Award in the Brian Lamb School of Communication. After transferring from animal sciences to communication as a sophomore, Mackenzie wasted no time making an impression in her new department. She earned the Lamb School Outstanding New Communication Major Award thanks to her dedication to academics and involvement on campus. She stood out as a member of student groups that did real-world public relations work for clients. She handled PR and helped recruit new faculty to Purdue by giving them tours when she was on campus. She was also a specialist for the College of Liberal Arts Study Abroad program after studying abroad twice herself, for a summer in Barcelona and for a full semester in Wellington, New Zealand. After graduation, she plans to continue her education by completing a master's degree in public relations. Mackenzie, please come forward to accept your award.
Undergraduate Programs and Associate Professor Kevin Mumford will present Claire Lee from Indianapolis, Indiana, with the Outstanding Senior Award in Economics. Claire, who is double majoring in political science and economics with a minor in management and a certificate in public policy, impressed Dr. Mumford with her combination of academic excellence and on-campus involvement. Although this third-generation Boilermaker chose a rigorous path through economics, emphasizing theory over empirics, Professor Mumford was pleased to point out that Claire, earning all A's across the 8 upper division econ courses, is a rare achievement. A STAMS leadership scholar, Claire has also taken part in the Purdue Old Masters program, served on the Purdue Foundation Student Board, on the Honors College Leadership Council, and as secretary of the Motor Board Senior Honorary. In selecting Claire for this award, Professor Mumford said, "We wish that more of our best academic students would take such an active role in helping to make Purdue a better place." In the future, Claire plans to study corporate law at the University of Chicago Law School. Claire, please come forward to accept your award.
Department Head Dorsey Armstrong will present Katie O'Farrell from Delphi, Indiana, with the Outstanding Senior Award in English. Katie is a 21st century scholar who took advantage of the Purdue Promise program that helps make attaining a Purdue degree a reality. As an education major, Katie took advantage of many opportunities related to teaching, including her volunteer work at Oakland High School, an alternative school where she was able to help different types of learners achieve. And as evidenced by her spot on the Dean's List every semester, Katie has also been an exceptional student. As Professor Tara Johnson has said, Katie takes excellence very seriously and has a proliferation of A+ on her transcript attests. But she's more than just a stellar student. She's thoughtful, compassionate, and dedicated to issues of social justice, locality, and globally. She is a real credit to the English education program and the department as a whole. Katie, please come forward to accept your award.
Department Head Douglas Hurt will present Ian Campbell from Mason, Ohio, with the Outstanding Senior Award in the Department of History. Faculty members in history credit Ian for his commitment to the study of history and for his impressive public presentations that displayed outstanding analytical abilities. Professor Sylvia Mitchell, who oversaw his history honors thesis, remarked, "From early on, he has demonstrated the ability to think and act like a professional historian," adding that she believed his thesis was truly original. A 4.0 student, double majoring in history and creative writing, with minors in both classical studies and medieval and Renaissance studies. Ian is a College of Liberal Arts Dean's Ambassador and Vice President of the History Honors Society, Phi Alpha Theta. After college, he plans to attend law school at the University of Virginia and hopes someday to become a novelist. Ian, please come forward to accept your award.
Jennifer Freeman Marshall will present Jesse Bolin from LaPorte, Indiana, with the Outstanding Senior Award in the School of Interdisciplinary Sciences. Jesse will graduate in May with a dual major degree in International Agronomy and Women's Gender and Sexuality Studies with a minor in Spanish, LGBT Studies, and International Agriculture. Through involvement in organizations like the Purdue Peace Project, the LGBTQ Cultural Center, and the Center for Global Food Security, Jesse is committed to making the world a better place. A high academic achiever, Jesse won the 2017 Bernice A. Carroll Feminism, Peace, and Social Justice Award from the Women's Gender and Sexuality Studies program, an award that recognizes contributions to scholarship and activism. Developing knowledge in such a wide range of academic disciplines has helped her prepare to advocate for those who are suffering from a lack of available food. Jessie has been accepted to the Amson Year in China teaching program. Jessie, please come forward to accept your award.
Department Head Christopher Yeomans will present Nathan Mcbarnett from Monon, Indiana, with the Outstanding Senior Award in Philosophy. Because of his reputation as a conscientious philosophy student, one professor said of Nathan that he not only participated fully in discussions, he also demonstrated a concern about the course's content that went well beyond the usual attempt to secure a good grade. Whether it was his soliciting recommendations about philosophical reading to do outside of classwork, or his volunteer work with the University Disability Resource Center and International Center of West Lafayette, it was clear to his professors that Nathan took the philosophical concepts they taught seriously. His academic achievements also reflect that seriousness, as Nathan has made the Dean's List for 7 semesters and won the Philosophy Department's William Rowe Scholarship in 2016. After graduating in December with a degree in philosophy and anthropology, Nathan plans to pursue a career in urban planning and eventually a PhD in human geography or a related field. Nathan, please come forward to accept your award.
Academic Program Director Warren Dukes will present Allegra Lucrack from Zionsville, Indiana, with the Outstanding Senior Award in Sociology. Aside from posting a near-perfect GPA and her membership in the Honors College and Alpha Kappa Delta Sociology Honor Society, Allegra also distinguished herself through research. As a Welk undergraduate research intern in 2016, Allegra has worked under sociology professor Rachel Eimenhower. Together, they conducted research on Jewish residents in the Holocaust. Allegra used data analysis software to analyze 120 Holocaust survivors' testimonies for patterns regarding their participation in Renaissance. Although there is typically a steep learning curve when learning with such detailed data, Dr. Eimenhower said Allegra has picked up the patterns in data very quickly and was a huge asset to the project. Allegra and Dr. Eimenhower presented their findings at the 2017 North Central Sociological Conference in Indianapolis. Allegra will graduate with majors in law and society, history, and political science. After graduation, she plans to attend law school at the University of Minnesota. Allegra, please come forward to accept your award.
School head Jennifer William will present Cheyenne Fischerow from Carmel, Indiana, with the Outstanding Senior Award in the School of Languages and Cultures. Cheyenne is not only an exceptional French student, she is an advocate for her program through participation as a College of Liberal Arts Dean's Ambassador and as a member of the Liberal Arts Student Council. The 4.0 student with majors in French and linguistics is also set to receive a bachelor's degree in psychology from the College of Health and Human Sciences, focusing on language acquisition and psycholinguistics. Cheyenne, please come forward to accept your award.
Department Head Rosalie Clausen will accept on behalf of Adam Hassin from Naperville, Illinois, for the Outstanding Senior Award in Political Science. Adam is not here tonight because he is competing in the National Collegiate Debate Tournament in Wisconsin. As a recipient of the Wilk Undergraduate Research Internship, Adam has worked under Associate Professor Thomas Mastillo, a research assistant since January 2016. His research earned him an invitation to present at the Midwest Political Science Association's annual meeting in Chicago. Adam also served as an officer with the Pettigrew Debate Forum and with the Pi Sigma Alpha, the Political Science Honor Society, that has twice been named National Chapter of the Year. As Chief Justice and Vice Chief Justice of the Student Government Supreme Court, Adam worked closely with the Student Legal Service Program. His group of student leaders secured permanent funding for the program, which helps students consult with licensed attorneys on a variety of legal issues, such as tenant and landlord disputes. Future generations of Boilermakers will benefit from Adam's work in this area. Congratulations, Adam.
School head Harry Bulow will present Jessica McDaniel from Mooresville, Indiana with the Outstanding Senior Award in the Patty and Rusty Roof School of Visual and Performing Arts. Versatility is what defined this Lilly Endowment Scholarship recipient's time at Purdue. Jessica is double majoring in art history and fine arts with concentrations in drawing and printmaking, allowing her to do both scholarly research and outstanding studio art. As a Wilkie undergraduate research intern, she helped Dr. Catherine Dawson and Dr. Nicole Kong document works by women artists in the Purdue University Gallery's permanent collection. This project greatly benefited the gallery's record keeping and development of their archives. Jessica also contributed to a number of presentations and art exhibitions and is an officer in the Purdue art community and the art history student organization. She plans to pursue a master's degree in drawing or art conservation after graduation. Jessica, please come forward to accept your award.
What an incredible group of seniors. We know that each of you will be excellent representatives of Purdue and the College of Liberal Arts for years to come. We can't wait to hear what's next for you. Purdue alumnus John Wooden, the Hall of Fame basketball coach and former high school English teacher, famously said that it is not what you learn after what you know, it is all that counts. Tonight, we honor 5 dynamic alumni who over the years continue to push boundaries in their fields and inspire those around them, and most importantly, continue to embody what it means to think broadly and think boldly.
Jeff Bulington says his favorite memory from Purdue was when he learned he had been awarded a teaching assistantship in philosophy. I could not believe that someone would pay me to teach, he says. I don't think my feet touched the ground as I walked from Recitation Hall to Stewart Center. Obviously, Jeff is someone who loves teaching and has combined that love with a passion for chess to make an impact in his own very unique way. As a junior high student in Monon, Indiana, Jeff learned about tournament chess from a local farmer. He pays it forward today by imparting valuable lessons on chess and life to kids from rural Mississippi as the executive director and lead teacher of the Southwest Mississippi Chess Foundation. Dr. B's work was profiled last year in a segment on 60 Minutes, where he said, "We are using chess to open some doors and to help people maybe see themselves in a way they didn't see themselves before." Those young students learn more than how to successfully capture their opponent's king. They learn how to be gracious, win or lose, how to focus, and they gain essential self-confidence over time. These subtle lessons will improve Jeff's students' lives well into adulthood. Jeff earned his bachelor's and master's degrees in philosophy and then a master's in teaching and PhD in curriculum studies from the College of Education. He does all of us proud, and we're happy to recognize Jeff Bulington as a 2018 Liberal Arts Distinguished Alumnus. Jeff, please come forward to accept your award.
Thank you, everyone. How is it that there are two philosophers from Monon, Indiana here? It's no coincidence. I promise you. The farmer who was mentioned in the story that we were just told was, in fact, the now past Earl Raver. Mrs. Raver is here tonight with me, and it means a great deal to have you here, Pat. So here's a good story about an arrogant kid learning something about learning. I learned how to move the chess pieces in Toledo, Ohio. My first grade teacher taught me how to play, and I only played the kids on the street, and I figured out a strategy which allowed me to beat everybody I played. And so, not getting any further feedback about the weakness, in fact, of the way I was playing, I thought I had figured it out. This game was cheap and easy, and I knew how to beat anybody. Well, one day, Mr. Raver stands up at church and says, he had a habit of saying strange things at church, by the way. He would announce IU basketball scores at the end of church. And this particular Sunday, he said that it was a nice game for a day of chess. So I thought, I'm going to go beat this old man. And then it would be fun, right? I would feel smart. And I had these ideas that people like me who had been told at school how smart they are could be farmers and things like that. And so we met to play that afternoon. And I already had it in my mind how the whole thing was going to go. And it went wrong from the start. He did something that I didn't expect. He took both the pawns, the black and white pawn, behind his back, and I had to pick a hand. And instead of getting the white pieces, which I just assumed, I got black instead. I thought, that's okay, I'll still work this out. So, for those of you that follow chess notation, and I'll never forget this game, it's in my mind, it's one of those cruel learning experiences that you just never forget. I played e4, pawn e4, he played e5, or I played e5 rather, he's white. Then he played his queen from d1 to h5. And I thought, wait a minute, I know this. He's doing to me what I was going to do to him. And I had this sort of quick idea that I could refute his idea very easily. And I played pawn to g6, which should send his queen back, and I imagined his queen returning to f3 where I would be safe and the game would continue. But instead, no. He takes my pawn on e5, checks my king, and my rook is dead now on h8, and I was embarrassed. And he wasn't particularly cruel about it, but it was also clear that he enjoyed knocking the chip off. But I couldn't believe it. I mean, it turned out that farmers could beat you at things. They could know things that you don't know. And I didn't like it. It disturbed me in a way. And so I started seeking out opportunities to play him, and Mrs. Raver can attest to this. I more or less lived in their house. I would ride my bike and play whenever I could. And he beat me 100 times or more before I ever won a game. And there was something about that idea that I was learning outside of school from a man who was a high school graduate at most, right, who made his living with his hands, that really impacted my idea of who might be a teacher, right, and of who might be a learner. And I carried that idea with me, this idea of learning for its own sake. I brought it here, and I think that's one of our strengths in liberal arts, right, is the idea of knowledge and learning being autotelic, that we do it because we love doing it, and it gratifies us in certain ways. And it turns out that if you're open to the world and ready to take on tasks that you weren't expecting, you don't know what's going to come along that might open itself up. If someone would have asked me, would I like to be a chess teacher, I would have said, of course, but I would have thought that was not a possible thing. So I'm at Purdue taking philosophy, and I decided to go take a test to decide what kind of career that would be the best sort of career. And it kicked out this little analysis, and I loved it. It said, you are logical to the point of hair splitting. Okay, true. You do not like small talk. And you need to find a career in which some intense interest of yours is useful to someone else. Okay, typical philosophy student, I suppose, in some ways, right? And it was in philosophy that idea that began with Mr. Raver, this idea of learning for its own sake, really took hold, because I met professors who were very well schooled in that notion, and people who had found ways to live lives of deep intellectual reflection, but also my mentor in the philosophy department, Kermit Scott, founded the Food Finders Food Bank here in town, and he took philosophy into the world, which was something he always inspired me to do. So all of those things happened in a way that made philosophy useful to me. And when people would try to confound me, and I'll say this to you liberal arts students, because I'm surely not the only alumni here that could say this, people will come to you and ask you why you're doing this. Why are you studying this? People would ask me, why are you studying philosophy? And I'm the first person in my immediate family to graduate from college. So in some sense, I just didn't know better. I did what I wanted to do. And I'm glad that's what I did. People would come up to me and ask me, what are you going to do with your philosophy degree? And I said things like, well, I intend to be the most well-read truck driver in America. And there was only half truth. There was at least a half truth there, right? I was ready to do whatever came along in order to get this type of education, this education that meant so very much to me. And I encourage you, those of you that are undergraduates, to stick by what you're doing and to look for ways to find in the world. I've ended up over time by things that some of them were just simple, I don't know what to call it other than dumb luck. But things that popped into my life as possibilities that I was ready to take on, and I ended up becoming exactly what it was I would have wanted to be had I known such a thing was possible. So, back to Mr. Raver again. I think what I wanted to do in the end was to do what he did, but do it in some professional way and perhaps do it better than he did. He was a player that was strong enough to get me to a certain point. He drove me around, took me to chess tournaments and things of that nature, and meant the world to me, all the doors that he opened. And I think in the end what I wanted to do was to be able to do that even better and on a broader scale and in a professional manner. And turns out you can do that. And that's what it is that I've done, and I guess that's why I'm so happy. Now, I'm sorry about this, but I'm going to have to leave after this, and I hope you all will understand. 12 of my students from Mississippi are playing in the Girls All-National Chess Championship in Chicago right now. I just missed them. I was getting reports about their games, and I need to get back to Chicago to coach them. So, when I'm finished, if we get up and leave, that's why. Please don't take offense. And I really don't know how I deserve to be among the rest of you that are being awarded tonight, but it's my pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Lessons that Suzanne Crouch learned at Purdue propelled her into a career as a public servant and all the way to the state capitol. The 1975 political science graduate says that the courses I took for my political science major piqued my interest in public service and helped me on a path I could never have imagined. An impressive path it has been, leading her from offices as Vanderbilt Country Auditor and Commissioner to 2 terms in the Indiana House of Representatives, and from a position as a state auditor to her current post Lieutenant Governor of Indiana. In that role, she oversees a portfolio that includes everything from agriculture to tourism to counterterrorism and security. A proud Evansville native, Suzanne served in the State House when President Purdue Mitch Daniels was governor and says, "It gives me great pride knowing the impact he's having on our state's next generation of leaders, setting the bar higher and higher for education, right here at Purdue." When Suzanne was one of those future leaders, she enjoyed cheering on the Boilermakers here at Ross Aid and says the big bass drum remains her favorite Purdue tradition. We are pleased to welcome you back to campus tonight, Suzanne Crouch, as a 2018 Liberal Arts Distinguished Alumna. Suzanne, please come forward to accept your award.
Well, good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. So good to be here. Thank you. Thank you for that kind introduction. And it's such an honor to be here tonight. But it's my life's greatest honor to serve as the 52nd Lieutenant Governor of the great state of Indiana and a partner to our Governor, Eric Holcomb. And as a young girl growing up in Evansville, I never dreamt that my life's journey would bring me to this place at this time in our state's history. It hasn't been a direct journey, but it's been rewarding, and there have been many valuable lessons on the way. And when I look back on my life, there are defining moments and events that actually make me who I am today. And one that I would like to share with you happened when I was 12 years old. I just experienced a growth spurt and was actually only 3 inches shorter than I am today. And so needless to say, I was taller than all the kids in the school and most of the teachers. And as kids are, they would make fun of me and call me the Jolly Green Giant. And while it was funny, it also, for a young girl struggling to fit in, it was a very painful time in my life. And I remember talking to my father about it. And the words he shared with me helped to define who I am today. He said, Suzanne, when the kids are making fun of you, it's because they themselves are insecure. And so the next time they call you the Jolly Green Giant, just say, ho, ho, ho. And I did, and the teasing stopped, and I started to make friends. But you see, my father taught me a very valuable lesson in life. He taught me that when I could accept myself and love myself for who I am and respect myself, then I could accept and respect the differences in others. And I could realize and appreciate it, that those differences are what makes us all so unique and adds to the beauty of our world. Another defining period of time in my life was my time here at Purdue University. It was a time where I grew up and passed from childhood to adulthood. And just as I am so grateful to my father for his advice, I am equally grateful to Purdue for the education and the experiences that it provided me and the impact it had on my life. And the political science classes I took, I can't help but think that helped to propel me into public service. You see, I didn't grow up in a political home, but my parents instilled in me values and principles that I think led me to public service and actually led me to Purdue University. They raised me to believe in God. They raised me to believe it takes hard work to get ahead. To believe in equality and opportunity, not equality of outcome. And they raised me to believe in personal responsibility, but to readily accept that I have a responsibility to help others who are less fortunate. Those principles have guided me throughout my life. It was such an honor and such a privilege to attend Purdue University, and it holds a special place in my heart, not just because I attended here, but because, as it was shared with you, I served with Mitch Daniels when he was governor and I was state representative, and I'm just so proud of the impact that he has had on Purdue University as he set the bar high for higher education right here at Purdue. And so, to that next generation of leaders, I say, don't be afraid to try new experiences. And know that while we may not be able to change the world, we can change the world for the people whose lives we touch. And I'm proud to be a Boilermaker, and your recognition tonight, while embarrassing, is very, very much appreciated. So thank you to all of you for all that you do and will do to improve the lives of Hoosiers. And what I'd like to leave you with is what is truly great about Purdue University are her people, you in this room tonight, alums all over the world, Boilermakers like you and me who know that there is no greater education or preparation for life than what we find here at Purdue University. And so for my education and my time at Purdue, I am grateful. And with that, boiler up and boiler go!
Thank you, Suzanne. William Fortune looks back over a distinguished career as a New York Times best-selling author, public speaker, and history professor, and attributes much of that success to people who influenced him here at Purdue. Bill was 38 and had already published 7 novels and taught in secondary education for a decade by the time he decided to complete his master's and a PhD in history at Purdue. And he was a non-traditional student for reasons other than age. Dyslexia had crippled his previous efforts to pass foreign language classes, and Bill was terrified that Purdue's foreign language requirement would prevent him from completing his PhD. However, encouragement from Spanish professor David Flory inspired Bill to pass the course and ultimately complete his PhD in 1994. Whatever I came to achieve later in life, I owe it to teachers like Professor Flory, he says. Bill came to achieve plenty, publishing 9 New York Times best-selling novels, including One Second After, which is currently in development as a television series. Since graduating from Purdue, Bill has been a faculty member at Montreat College, where he is a full professor of history and a faculty fellow. As with Professor Flory, Bill says that guidance from mentors like Gunther Rothenberg, Gordon Morg, Randy Roberts, and Robert May shaped his career and caused him to look back on his Purdue experience with great affection. Any institution is really nothing more than some bricks and mortar. It is the people within that count, he says. Those whom I met and studied with profoundly changed my life for the better. We are proud to honor William Fortune tonight as a 2018 Liberal Arts Distinguished Alumnus. Bill, please come forward to accept your award.
She just took my speech away. Before I go any further, our future novelist here, who's our history person, we got to talk later. Do you have an agent yet? Gosh, you actually kind of took what I wanted to talk about. But maybe some of you have heard this before. My wife Robin and I arrived here yesterday, and I had a bit of a meltdown. I felt a little bit like the Bergman movie Wild Strawberries because I couldn't remember anything of the building. I got totally lost. And I'll confess, it was a bit depressing. I've not been here since 1995. Then this morning, went over to the union, started walking around, started talking to people, and it all came back. Went over to my building, it all came back. Purdue's not about buildings. Purdue's about people. It's about us. It's about all of us. What Purdue did was it pulled us all together into a community. We came here for different reasons, and we leave here different, and we carry it with us. And I know it makes us better people. So as I was trying to figure out what I was going to say, and you took mine away, Robert Frost's poem, The Road Not Taken. Okay, here we go, Dave. I did come here as a non-traditional student in my 30s for a variety of reasons. I wanted to pursue a PhD. I'd already published 6 or 7 novels. You can do it. You can do it. And all of them tanked, by the way. So why was I here? Well, I really wanted to learn history. I mean, I really wanted to learn history. I was not necessarily thinking of a goal of being a history professor. I just simply wanted to learn. But I thought because of some wiring in my brain, I would never get much past Masters plus 30. My first year here, just took history courses. Second year, and at that point, Gordon Moore, how many of you might have known Gordon? Gosh, and Gunther Rothenberg. You've got to do your language requirements. Okay, here's my history. I flunked French in 7th grade. I flunked Latin in 9th grade and 10th grade. I flunked French in 11th grade. I flunked Spanish and French my first year in college. I flunked French again my second year in college. I switched majors so I never had to take a bloody foreign language ever again. And I was terrified, absolutely terrified. Dave, I didn't tell you this. I threw up after the first class. I was so nervous. The Road Not Taken. I finally had to face the music and go over to your building to try and struggle through a Spanish class, and I honest to God believe I would be Masters plus 30, and that would be the end of my academic career. I sat in Dave Flory's class that first day, and Dave picked up on the vibes. Dave is incredible at reading students. And at the end of class, he said something like, "You look terrified." Yes, I am. And we started talking, and he said, "Hey, you're the student who's published some novels." I said, "Yeah," and they all tanked. Well, the exponent didn't put it that way. The exponent had put up, "Yeah, we had a student here who published a novel." We chatted for a couple minutes, and I poured it out. This guy is better than my old priest. I mean, I'm just pouring out my whole life story to him and my terror. I come into class 2 days later. Professor Flory walks into that room. Okay, I can do this now. Opens up his briefcase, and he pulls out one of my novels. Opens it up, and he starts sight reading it in Spanish. Don't make eye contact with me, Dave. What a moment. Me, terrified student. How many people does Dave teach every? How many of you are professors? How many kids do we work with every year? And he took the time to get that book and walked in and just read it in Spanish and smiled at me. And then he said, "You're going to do it." And I did. I did because I loved him. I wasn't going to let him down. I trusted him. He told me I can do it, and I believed that man, and I did do it. I actually passed. Oh my God, what a day that was. The angels came down from heaven and said, "Behold, you shall pass." I mentioned the road not taken because when this incredible institution invited me to receive this honor, I was actually saying to my wife, Robin, why me? What did I do? What's different here? Why me? And she, of course, is saying, "Well, Bill, you've published all these books and everything." And I realized as I was contemplating it, there was a road not taken in my life. The road not taken was actually the road of an uncaring professor. Well, either you're going to pass it or not. And I would have disappeared. But Dave Flory cared. And I pray that every professor, I don't have to pray, I know every professor in this room cares, because I saw that Purdue is not about buildings, it's about you, it's about professors. And each one of us then carries that out, and it's in our heart. I did not go down that other road. I got my PhD, it gave me confidence, Dave, I went on and write, and I figured sooner or later I'll do a bestseller. I did. God bless you. You were the angel that showed me a different road. You're the one who did the work. My handwriting.
Thank you, Bill. Rodney's hero academic career has taken him from coast to coast. From his days as an undergraduate in Florida to his time here at Purdue, where he has completed a political science master's and a PhD, to his current position at the Raluguzzo Chair in the School in Political Science, Global Studies at Arizona State University. He built a career as one of the leading scholars in the field of racial and ethnic diversity in American politics. Among many of the prestigious honors of this professor, researcher, and award-winning author's resume, and his becoming the first Latino to be elected president of the American Political Science Association in 2014. As a political science professor, Rodney has been a faculty member at Colorado, Notre Dame, and the University of California, Berkeley. Today, much of his research focuses on American democracy as viewed through the lens of racial politics. He is applying that work in his position as director of Arizona State's new Center for Latinas and Latinos in American Politics Research, where he hopes to be able to add necessary analysis of Latino politics into the overall American political conversation. Tonight, we are excited to have Rodney's hero back in the Midwest and recognize him as 2018 Liberal Arts Distinguished Alumni. Rodney, please come forward to accept your award.
I got one.
Well, thank you very much. This is a really humbling experience, particularly following my predecessors who came up and gave these very emotional and eloquent talks. It's really hard to follow, but I will say what I feel like I can and should say. First, let me thank all of you, everyone involved with this event, including all of you here who are not only here to receive awards and be directly recognized, but those of you who are here who are implicitly recognized as family and friends of those who are being recognized in a more direct way. In my case, one of the people I really have to be grateful to and thankful for is my wife, Kathy. And it may be unusual, but I'd like her to stand up. Yeah. I think all of us recognize that there are many people in our lives who have touched them in very profound and distinct ways that we don't always remember, but they're certainly important. What I'd also like to say is a big thank you to the political science professors who are here, and some who were here and left, to Rosalie Clausen and Valeria Sinclair Chapman, who are of a new generation, who are themselves now seasoned political scientists as well, who were not around when I was here, but they have contributed so much to political science through their own research, as well as through their activities with major journals in political science. And I'm privileged to be a member of the editorial board of one of those journals. I was here many years ago. I was here from 1975 to 1980. So to say the world has changed in dramatic ways is a dramatic understatement, to be sure. But I guess what I've tried to do, along with people like Rosalie, Valeria, and Laura Weldon, who left, is to explore and to deeply ponder some of the important aspects of American politics and society, to raise and to address questions that we feel like are otherwise understudied, underappreciated, and so on. When I was here, we had some wonderful professors, but it's interesting that at that time, the study of race and ethnicity, particularly Latino politics in American political science, was virtually unknown. So over time, I really felt like I had to kind of build on the foundation that those professors had provided me very well, but then to expand and to explore new questions, sometimes being criticized for raising questions of the kind that I did, that, you know, these are not really legitimate or really important questions in American society, and being compelled to try and suggest to them that these are indeed an important part of American politics. The way I often phrase it to people is that when we study political science, I think there's many questions where professors will try and accurately assess or examine a particular issue. I always feel and felt that that was certainly very important. But at the same time, I think one of the things that I guess I and some of the professors here in this room also address is trying to think about how we can more adequately and fully and completely understand American politics. That is, there have been various dimensions of American politics which we think have been kind of not given the recognition and appreciated the significance that they have in our understanding of politics. So, you know, we political science professors care deeply about American democracy. And at the same time, we find studying that issue very challenging, and we recognize the complexity of it. But at the same time, it can be frustrating because of that complexity and the goals that we wish for American society in terms of the breadth and depth of American democracy. So that has been a major motivation, I think it's fair to say, in the careers of again, my fellow political scientists in the room and political scientists in general. And I, in some of the activities I've undertaken, as when I was president of the American Political Science Association, for example, was to try and instill and make those more common, regular, legitimate issues and questions to study in political science. So let me just say a couple more words here. As I think about this event and all of us here tonight, again, I'm very honored to be here, particularly amongst the fellow awardees. I think of this event as one of recognition and rejuvenation. We recognize each other, but we also rejuvenate each other through these activities. They're rituals, but they're fundamentally important rituals. I also like to think of us as developing an attitude of gratitude. That is, that we appreciate each other. We come to recognize that we're all in the world together, and we need to appreciate one another. And I guess I would conclude with this by saying I think what we achieve here is a culture of community and a community of culture. And in many ways, that's what American higher education at its best represents, and Purdue represents the best of that best. Thank you.
Thank you, Rodney. A 1983 graduate in communication, Karen Siciliano has enjoyed success in two distinctly different professions, and it was her experience in student government at Purdue that laid the groundwork for both. Although she served as both a student senator and as student body vice president, Karen's most noteworthy accomplishment was being elected as Purdue's first female student body president in 1982. In that role, she learned valuable lessons in leadership by advocating for Purdue at the State House, representing the university at Big Ten meetings, and pushing new academic and social service initiatives on campus. Those lessons, no doubt, came in handy when she advanced to a leadership position on Wall Street as vice president at J.P. Morgan & Chase Manhattan Bank, after starting her career as a mortgage-backed security bond broker. Surely they are also valuable today while directing her family business, Siciliano Landscape Company. Since taking over the business that her grandfather started more than 80 years ago, Karen has helped it quadruple in size, specializing in landscape architecture and design, installation, and maintenance. Through her work to help the immigrants in her workforce gain visas, citizenship, and housing, Karen lives up to her philosophy. The measure of a person's success is in direct proportion to the happiness they bring to others. And we are pleased to have Karen Siciliano here tonight to be recognized as a 2018 Liberal Arts Distinguished Alumna. Karen, please come forward to accept your award.
Thank you. Ever grateful, ever true. That's what I see all over campus. That's what I feel when I come back here. Purdue has been an important influence in my life. It's helped make me the person that I am today. And when I return, I'm reminded of that time after time. I also get the opportunity to visit family. My brother is a professor here in landscape architecture. And my special guest is his daughter, my niece, Maria, who I love and I'm very proud of, and I'm happy that you're here to join me tonight. Thank you to the College of Liberal Arts for this honor. I appreciate it very much. I was thinking today that it was 40 years ago, I don't know how that ever happened, but when I came to Purdue for the very first time with my parents in the selection of a university. And I decided that I thought at the time I was going to go to be a lawyer, and so I was going to major in political science. I met with an advisor on campus for 20 minutes. A year later, after deciding that Purdue was in fact the place for me, I returned to campus and I was walking down the mall, and the same political science advisor looked up and saw me and said, "Hi Karen, nice to see you again." And in that moment, she made a campus of what was 34,000 strong then, a manageable place for me. And I decided in that moment that I was going to try and do some big things here and push past my comfort zone and participate in things I otherwise probably wouldn't have. And yeah, I joined a lot of different clubs and rushed a sorority and got involved in student government and made history, so they told me, as the first female student body president. There haven't been very many since then, and we still have glass ceilings in government to shatter, but at the time it was historic here. When I come back and I talk to classes, I tell students that the best lessons that I learned while at Purdue were actually the ones that I gained outside the classroom. And it's actually, as I have continued on in my life, I find that to be the case that the best lessons that I have learned in life have not been through my successes, but rather my failures. And I came across something a few months ago that interested me. It's called kintsugi, and it's the Japanese art of repairing broken pottery with lacquer dusted with powdered gold. And it's as much an art form as it is a philosophy, right? And the philosophy is that it treats breakage as something not to be hidden or ashamed of, but rather celebrated. It becomes part of a valuable piece or person's history. And I think far too often, successful people and type A personalities and high-achieving students put a lot of pressure on themselves to never fail. And I will say that it is as important a part of life as succeeding is. And when you do, because you will, the first question you should ask yourself is, what is this here to teach you? And if you can gain those lessons, then you come out of it a better person for having experienced it, and that pottery or that person becomes more valuable indeed. I think that ours is a culture that sometimes doesn't embrace that, but I would like to see it happen more often and be encouraged. I also think that successful people
succeed a lot of the time and expect to, and sometimes we're not as compassionate as we should be. And I think that failure has taught me compassion, and not just to myself, but to other people. And I think that makes the world a better place. When life brings you to your knees, sometimes I say it's a good opportunity to pray. And given the fact that we have received these very delicate awards, Kintsugi might just come in handy. Thank you so much for this honor. I appreciate it.
What an impressive group of alumni. Thanks to each of you for being here tonight and for the examples you set for today's Purdue students. You set the bar high, but I think Mary Kate will agree. You also inspire us as graduating seniors to reach out and grow one brick higher. Alumni like you empower us with the example of all we can achieve with a degree from Purdue's College of Liberal Arts. Please join us in recognizing these outstanding alumni one more time. It's exciting to look forward and imagine the future that I will create, and my fellow students and the alumni students from the liberal arts will create too. With a great foundation in place and the vision of Dean Reingold has for our college, all of our futures look pretty bright.
As we celebrate the marks our outstanding seniors and distinguished alumni have made on the world, we invite you to make your mark for Purdue. Next Wednesday, April 25th, marks the 5th annual Purdue Day of Giving for friends and alumni locally and around the world.
Last year, the College of Liberal Arts total of 819 gifts placed forth among all units in the Purdue Day of Giving. Those gifts came from 36 states and 9 foreign countries. The college has also won the Faculty and Staff Challenge for all 4 years running, and we're hoping to make it one for the thumb. This for all 4 years running. On April 25th, please consider helping the college move to the top of the leadership board. When you see Purdue Day of Giving on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or Twitter, remember, think broadly, lead boldly, give generously.
On behalf of the College of Liberal Arts, the CLA Alumni Board, and the Purdue Alumni Association, I would like to thank you for joining us tonight to honor our 2018 Distinguished Alumni, outstanding seniors, and scholarship donors. All of these individuals exemplify what we can achieve with a Purdue liberal arts education. Please join us one more time in showing our appreciation for these outstanding Boilermakers.
We hope you have enjoyed tonight's events as much as we have. Thank you for joining us, and hail Purdue.